Mike Perlak here to entertain you with the help of Dear America, Letters from Home. Letters Home from Vietnam. A documentary film that aired on HBO back in 1987 that I just finished watching, and I wanted to do a quick reflection video while it's still in my head. I found it interesting that the big names that helped with the voiceover on some of the silent footage, because this was 90% real footage. I'm watching it. I was actually recalling something that has been said, not by me, about the Vietnam War, but it was the first American war that was in every American living room via the news. But big names like Mark Harmon, Michael J. Fox, Robert Downer Jr., William Dafoe, Robert De Niro, just to name a few. Martin Sheen, Kathleen Turner, Robin Williams. But I found it interesting that their names are not given credit in the credits of this documentary. However, the director does put a thank you to these people, which says to me that makes sense. A budget like this is not very high. They can't afford to pay Michael J. Fox, for his voice. So it would make sense from a business perspective that these people would have to sign additional contracts that say, okay, I'm Michael J. Fox. I know normally I would be paid X amount for using my voice in a thing, but I, under my own free will as Michael J. Fox, am willing to do this project, participate in this project for either significantly less money or no money at all, which says a lot about their integrity as human beings. Yeah, Sean Penn, Randy Quaid, to name a few others, Harvey Keitel. Anyways, so while it's fresh in my mind, it's real. I love the fact that it was like in chronicle order from like the start to almost towards the end. When they got into the 70s, there was footage of John Lennon, and I was reminded of that awesome quote from John Lennon when they asked him, Nixon, made it very difficult for him to become a citizen, along with some other people in power at the time. But I love that quote from John Lennon when they asked him if he had any ill feelings towards the people that, basically kind of sort of incarcerated him all this time, kind of fear of his influence. And John Lennon says, oh, no, because I know that time wounds all heals. I love that quote. But every time I see footage now of LBJ, now until my dying day, it's not like when I was growing up. I was like, okay, just another flawed human being, he probably did good things and bad things, whatever. But now I see him as pure evil. When I see LBJ in a freaking documentary, my mind goes right to that quote. That quote that LBJ said, the Democratic Party champion, what he said, I'll have those niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Yeah, and they succeeded. And when I see Nixon, I'm equally... I see him as pathetic and loser, too. Because Nixon made it that much easier for the Democratic Party to convince the world that the enemy was the Republicans and conservatives. All Nixon had to do is be upfront and honest with the people. So I got a little off track. But this was a good documentary. I mean... The footage, whatever footage they had sound was authentic, and whatever footage they had was silent. That's why they needed these big names to voice. They only had the letters to go on, so they were taking all these letters from these boys from Vietnam and basically reading them as part of the documentary. And then these different big names would take on different writers of the text, the people that wrote these letters. I don't want this to be too long because I do have to go to bed. I do have 2 jobs to hold down. But when the credits were rolling, of course, they were playing the boss, Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA," and yeah, unfortunately, he's a leftoid. He supported John Kerry's campaign. That even back then, I thought that was weird. Why is he? It's just, it's good and bad on both sides, I guess. But I won't remain in the dark anymore, and that's what I believe. Anybody who wants you to vote for Democratic leaders, that's what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to be ignorant. Vote for Democrats. Just be ignorant and vote for Democrats. Not because the Republican Party is any better, but because, in my view, or at least with the Republican Party, you have a fighting chance. With the Democratic Party leadership, you have no chance. You do as they say or you die. Mike Paralak, thank you for your time.